African American. I am not anything other than a nigga. These nails and this hair and these wigs and these AAVE accents and all that stuff like that is getting out of control. Stop telling people that they are invited to the cookout. There is no cookout. So I try to get people comfortable with those terms. Okay, I try to get people comfortable with, just because you don't own it does not mean that I have to stop saying it. Okay, because if you have a weight issue or something that you don't like about yourself and I bring it up, you're going to be offended. Now, you can walk around all day and say, hey, I have a fupa. Hey, I need my BBL because my butt is flat, whatever. If I say it, it becomes disrespectful. If I say, girl, you need to go get you a BBL because your butt is too flat, that it becomes disrespectful. Do I have to ban that person from saying that they don't like their body or comment on their own body? No, it's just not my place to say it. So when people whose place is not to say niggas say it, and then they look at black people and they say, well, you say it, or other corny black people say, well, if you want these people to say it, you should say it. No, we shouldn't, because it's our word. It's our word. If we choose to use it, we can use it. So next time you hear that or you consider saying that, think about how many times you've been critical on yourself to a person. And if that person their rebuttal to you was, yeah, you really need to do this or that, or yeah, you really looking a hot mess, right? That will be offensive because they don't own that. That is not their place to utilize that terminology, just like it wouldn't be someone else's place to say nigga. That doesn't mean I have to stop saying it. And black people, right now, I'm speaking specifically to you. Stop telling people that they are invited to the cookout. There is no cookout. There is no cookout. Okay? Because aside from everything that I mentioned before that, regarding what goes on in society as somebody black, the childhood of somebody black. And once again, I'm not talking about having black friends. I'm not talking about being around black people, adopt, whatever. I'm talking about there's certain trauma, generational curses in the black community that stems from racism, like abuse. A lot of stuff, abuse, sometimes over submission. You'll see black people that's overly submitting to white people because they feel they have to. That is a generational trauma from slavery. Okay? So no, you can't, you can look all the AAVE that you want to. Understandably, people want to be a part of the culture. It's rich. It's almost like you give a baby table food after they've been drinking formula or after they've been eating a little Gerber food. Y'all know how that is. That's why you don't give babies table food over time, because they become acclimated to the seasoning, to the culture of the food. Okay? There is absolutely no way for the way you got raised, for who you got raised with, or anything else of that matter to qualify you to be a black person unless you were born a black person. And the other side of that is, it does not matter if you was adopted, if your spouse is white, if you act white, if you're transracial, which is your business, you will always be a black person. And I'm going to explain this to you. Okay? So let me explain this to you. Just like on the flip side, if you was adopted, no matter who, if you got adopted by Rosa Parks herself, it wouldn't matter, because if you and Rosa walk in a room in a high power event, they're going to stare at Rosa. You can get in. You can get in without, you can just swoop right on in. They're not going to look at you. You can swoop right on in with that white skin, right? You sitting in a classroom, and the only information about black people that is given in the classroom is the picture with the man with the welts on his back. That is American Black history in public school. It's the picture of that black man with the welts on his back. Okay. So I always went to predominantly white schools. So if you have never been the black person in class, when they pulled that picture out, or they put it up on their overhead of the black man on their overhead with welts on his back, which I really don't understand what that was teaching us. Okay. I don't understand what that was teaching us. I don't know if that was to make me feel included. I don't know what that was, but that's over with. If you ain't never been that only black person and people looking at you like, oh, was your mom a slave? You know, when you're little, people don't understand when you're a child. So growing up over the years, and I remember up into high school seeing the very same picture of the man with the welts on his back. That's the only black history that there is in public school. It's the black man with the welts on his back. Ask another black person and they will know what picture I'm talking about. Why? Because when you're the black person, when you are the black person in the class, everybody is staring at you. They want to know if your family is slaves because they're children. Everybody is staring at you. You cannot learn that, because even if your adopted mother or your adopted community was black, they ain't gonna stare at you when that picture comes up just because somebody who raised you was black. They're not gonna do that. You're gonna blend in. Okay? So it has to stop. It does not matter that you feel like you got a black soul. All of that type of stuff is that stop saying that. Just stop saying it. I feel like I'm a white woman with a black soul. It's not possible. Because when you went to school and the movies came on with the man with the welts on his back, they did not turn around and look at you because you was around black people. All right? When you go into a job interview, they didn't stare at your hair before they hired you to make sure that your hair wasn't too ghetto. All y'all got to do is go take those nails off or stop talking in AAVE, and you're right back into the white privileged community. Black people cannot do that. I can go dressed in my very Sunday best with a Birkin, and they gonna stare at me from my hair to my lashes to my makeup, all of that. Not only gonna stare at me, they're gonna deep dive into my social media and all of that, because I'm black. I don't deserve to have what I have to be doing what I'm doing. So stop saying that you're black inside. It's not possible. Okay? It is not possible.